It's a good question. I remember when we began back in 1980, and it was just me and 3 friends in the band, and we never thought it would go. We couldn't see 5 years ahead. You know, we just thought when we talked about the future, we just said, well, in 5 years' time, we'll be doing something else entirely, all be in different bands, and so it's really strange when you get to, like last year, it was the 25th anniversary of Running in the Family, which was the album that we had Lessons in Love and Running in the Family and Leaving Me Now on. It's Over, sorry. And you just keep going. I think that's the thing, is that in rock, in the business, in the music business, nobody used to write the rules about how long you're supposed to be in it. You see it now with the Rolling Stones. David Bowie's just put a new album out, you know, and I think that some of the best artists still are some of the older artists, you know. Well, no, I don't. But you must drink as much as you can. Lots of alcohol and young women, obviously. It might not work, but you'll have much more fun. Yeah, the 80s was a pretty excuse me, it was a pretty crazy time, really. Very hedonistic. You know, certainly at home in the UK, that the late 70s have been pretty bleak, and there were lots of union troubles, and you know, there was massive unemployment and stuff. So when the 80s came along and things seemed to sort of start to take a boom, it was quite something to be part of that railroad, that train journey that was just seemed to be racing into the future. And it's like anything went, you know. There was the music scene was very eclectic. There were lots and lots of different styles. In the charts, you'd have heavy metal, you'd have jazz funk, you'd have new romantics, you'd have punk, you'd have country, you'd have all kinds of stuff, you know, pop. And I don't think it's like that anymore. I think it's much more sort of polarised now. That I don't think the music is quite as broad as it was back then. On some stations it is, of course, but not on the mainstream. So it was a good time for a band like us to break through, because just because the ears were there and people were listening for it, you know. And then we sort of rolled through into the 1990s, and you know, things changed. The music landscape changed, and certainly at home for us there was a thing called Britpop took over, and then you had bands like Blur and Oasis sort of came through, which is a very different kind of music than us, you know. And that's, I think things started sort of shutting down a bit more then in that respect. But it was a great time to be around. The 1980s were cool. Do you know what? I don't know. I think that sometimes things are best left as they are, and we should always be looking to move ahead, you know, and live for now and enjoy because you don't know what's coming. That's the thing about life, you know. It can throw you a real curveball sometimes. So my advice to anybody at the ripe old age of 55 is, like, grab life, because it's not a rehearsal. We're here right now, and enjoy it for now. And don't try and live in the past too much, but just let's look to the future.